So this bout scheduled for three 3-minute rounds. Frankie Cleary in the red corner, Najeeb in the blue. Instantly, just see the size difference there. Cleary, the bigger of the two men. The referee already administering a standing 8 count. A nice shot landed from Cleary early. Just wobble Najeeb back onto his heels. Not entirely sure it was worthy of a standing 8 count, but as I say, the referee's in there feeling the shots much closer up than we are. So count was administered. They box on. It's a good start for Frankie Cleary. Najeeb firmly on the back foot, just trying to box at range, keep his man away from him, but he's already felt the power of Cleary. High gloves, crouch stance as he walks into range. Just springs into action, just misses with a left uppercut there. Najeeb trying to keep on to the end of that jab. There's real spike being thrown by Cleary. Just here, Najeeb's corner, screaming at him to get off the ropes a moment or two ago. Just feel that as soon as he does, Cleary pins him back and can unload. He's really putting a lot into those shots. Whether he'll tire as the bout goes on, it'll be interesting to see, because he's putting everything into these shots at the moment. No feeler shots, everything's thrown with spite and power. Najeeb in the corner, just wiping his face there. Jab must have caught him on the nose. Najeeb doesn't seem to have the power to stop Cleary coming forwards. Cleary lands another left hook as he marauds forward again. Najeeb swings and misses with a lead left hook. Cleary waiting for his opportunity, tucking up high behind that guard, throws a straight right hand. Najeeb he's get on the inside and start teeing off. He's continually walking down his man. He's got him where he wants him now. Momentarily just pins him, but Najeeb does well, spins off the ropes, moves to his right hand side. And all the while the bout is contested in the centre of the ring. Najeeb is having a little bit of success. He's boxing a lot. Punches coming off the gloves of Cleary. As soon as Cleary pins him onto the ropes, he's able to unload, and that's where his best work is done. And as the round comes to an end, that's what we saw in the corner there. As Frankie Cleary just sits down after an aggressive opening round where standing 8 count was administered within the first 15 seconds for Najeeb. And Najeeb has got some task to keep this man off of him, keep him at range for the next couple of rounds. And bright start for the man on your screen there, Frankie Cleary. John, Najeeb boxing out of Fight for Peace Boxing Club.
Yeah, Fight for Peace, it's a boxing club, a competitive boxing club, but it's also a charity, a really interesting one at that. It was founded actually quite some years ago in Brazil, and what it does is it does what so many clubs do, but it's got a formalised process for offering boxing and martial arts, martial arts training like kickboxing as well, to young people at risk of getting involved in crime and all sorts of problems. And it's sort of, boxing is the carrot that draws them in, but they also have a program for helping the young people get qualifications, whether it's in education or help get them into employment. It began in the sort of favelas of Rio de Janeiro, but has now been set up in East London. It was set up, a few years before the Olympics over here, and it really does hugely impressive work. has really set this, set quite a template that that other clubs are starting to learn from and use their expertise. And it's almost what all boxing clubs just do naturally, organically. As in, coaches tend to know that they're a mentor, and they tend to know that with boxing they can give young people, some discipline, some life lessons. But what they do at Fight for Peace is really formalise it. And they have all the young people involved from all sorts of troubled backgrounds. They then they join the club, they go on and become sort of youth leaders within it. So it's actually driven by the boxers, by the members of the charity itself.
I guess just another example of the hundreds of fascinating stories that underpin so many of the organisations and clubs that we see, and where you see a name, often there is a story behind it, and a story that has changed the lives of a lot of young people, most of whom we see in the ring this weekend. Meanwhile, Haris Najeeb has had a little bit more success in this round. He was under the cosh a little bit in the opening round, although Cleary lands a stiff right hand there. It just seems the edge of power is with Frankie Cleary, it's at the edge in terms of aggression. Najeeb was unable to keep him off, and all the while he kept about the centre of the ring. Seems having a little bit more success. Once he is backed up, that's when he starts to have problems. So he's doing well here, just to push Frankie Cleary there, but you see just Cleary leaping forwards and push his man back. That's where he wants him. But I wonder whether Cleary expended a lot of energy in those opening 3 minutes. Whether he would have punched himself out, so to speak, or just left himself a little bit less in the tank than he would have liked going into the final round. And nice counter there from Najeeb after eating a jab.
And it is harder for Fight for Peace in the sense that it's a new club. It's sort of been bringing up its boxers right from people who are just boxing to help themselves in their lives, bring them up from this sort of novice level to more serious competition. And in your more established clubs that aren't newer, you already have the sort of elite talents and the leading boxers that the young boxers, the novices, the new guys can look up to and imitate. When you're really building that competitive side up from the grassroots up, you don't have that.
I suppose it's hard to create that structure from scratch as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Haris Najeeb setting the example. The Fight for Peace. He's got his work cut out at the moment. Cleary's a formidable opponent in the first 6 minutes. Just one a little bit more in the favour of the man in blue in the last round. How can he finish?
Najeeb almost ran towards his opponent to start the round.
Well, the pattern of the first round, John, was very much when Najeeb was in the centre, he's having a bit more success, but Frankie Cleary intent on walking him down. Once he got him pinned to the ropes, that's when he was able to unload, plant his feet a little bit more. And I think Najeeb has realised that and actually adapted very well over the last 3 or 4 minutes. Trying to keep this one as central as possible. And although a lot of those shots are coming off the gloves, he's throwing more when they are in the centre. Certainly sort of 1 in every 3 is getting through, and he's more active than Cleary. Nice counter right hand from the man in red though there. Now a left hook. Shots from Najeeb's corner to keep your hands up. You can see why there. Clubbing another right hook. It's a more successful 30-second spell from Frankie Cleary. Begins to find his feet now. Now Najeeb caught where he doesn't want to be, on the ropes. Najeeb's throwing a big flurry there, but missing all of them as Cleary just bobbed and weaved in the pocket.
Start to bring in those harder shots, Cleary.
Of course, as the bout wears on, the feet and heels become more planted. Shots become slower but a little heavier. There's less darting in and out of range and more toe-to-toe trading, which you'd think on balance would suit Frankie Cleary. Lands another right hand there. Haris Najeeb now pinning Cleary back onto the ropes for the first time in the contest. Really good work from him. And Cleary did expend a little bit too much energy in those first 3 minutes, and now he's struggling as a result. I mentioned a number of occasions this afternoon, John, it is important to start that first round fast and get the points under your belt, but not really at the risk of punching yourself out too early and expending too much energy.
Najeeb is finishing well.
He's paced himself, certainly the better of the two men, and Najeeb looking fresh. Not a lot of power in those shots, but they are scoring. For every big swing that Cleary throws, Najeeb just popping in with 3, 4, 5 shots. Cleary covering up with most of them, but the activity and the flow of the fight, for me, Najeeb's boxed extremely well in the finish of this one. And there goes the bell for the end, and Cleary raises his hand, but I think it's going to be a close decision there. Najeeb did extremely well to get himself back into it after a tough opening minute.
This will be a good experience for a fight for Keith's boxer. You know, this tournament has given him the chance to have 3 rounds with, you know, an Irish opponent. Probably a different style to what he's used to facing in London. It's just the value of that, you know, competitive experience. That's what these boxers need to develop.
It's a classic case of whether the judges have valued power shots over activity.
We'll wait for the decision as announcer Dan O'Sullivan clocks up more miles on the pedometer.
Follow have hit 40,000 steps now, surely.
He has hit 40,000 now, I believe.
He has. Expect to see that doubled. The amount of bouts that he'll have to be covering tomorrow. Another time that will be on air for, certainly. So the boxers patiently wait, and it can't be a fun wait either, especially if you know a bout's been close and you're not quite sure. And I don't think either men are convinced, and I think sitting ringside, John, neither are we, to be perfectly honest.
No, we're interested to see how it goes. There are a few sports that have this moment of tension that once the action's done, you've still got to actually sit around and wait for the result.
Body language there, Frankie Cleary seems to be slightly more convinced of the two. Najeeb has not really shown many signs that he believes he's won the bout, but we're now going to find out who is into the final of the Haringey Box Cup. Well, they got better from Haris Najeeb as the fight progressed there, but didn't quite do enough in the end as Frankie Cleary takes the victory on points, and he will progress to tomorrow's final in the 56 kilo category.